What is our purpose here? Our purpose is to get money, to get wealthy. It's to be who we are because we're good people, right? And there's a group of people who aren't good people. Those people most likely don't even want me talking to you about anything. They don't want you learning anything about higher spirituality. They want you to be stuck in a lower state of vibration. Do you know that some of the chatter that's going on internally is not even you? It's you get addicted to certain patterns. If somebody says something like, "Yo, I want to become powerful, rich." No, you cannot become powerful and rich. It doesn't make any sense. That's someone making you chase something incorrectly. Don't chase power and don't chase riches. You have to already know that you're rich. If you look at the building that you live in, look at the house you live in. That's a lot of money and resources. Look at the community in the city. Everyone pays taxes for this stuff. This stuff is expensive. America is expensive. I don't care how old your car is, how new it is. Everything is expensive. Like, people had to go down into the earth, get the material, mine it. Like, life is a big operation. And so it's our job to get money, right? This world, you see how the streets are coded and everything has an address and the streets have the grids? That's what we call the grid, matrix grid, right? You trying to tell me that no one knows how to make you successful? Everyone has all of these words and they can help you a little bit, but they don't have exactly what you need to become successful. That doesn't make any sense at all. And these people are smart. These people are brilliant engineers of society. But who are they engineering for if they're not telling to the people who's getting lost in the system? If I created a system and then someone tell me, "Hey, James, there's a group of people who's getting lost," then how can those people help themselves? They need a savior. They need Christ to come and talk to them a little bit about the internal world and the external world. And so that's what they actually killed him for, is because they didn't want him helping these lost people, because they thought that these people are so ignorant and dumb and foolish that they don't deserve any type of help. And you might be somebody who don't pay attention, but that's not your fault, because I was the same exact way. That's being a product of society. When we get lost and we don't know where to go, we don't know where to turn. But the higher truth is that you are one with source. People say, "Oh, how do you ask for travel?" You just do it. Like, you want to lay down with me on the grass right now when we walk somewhere? Where do you want me to go? To Saturn? Right? This is the playground. If you get Gemini, you can get by Gemini, that's AI. It's at like a $9. You can say, "Yo, create me a world called Neptuna." Rich people just make shit up. That's called creativity. And once you start using your creativity and sharing with others, but with the purpose to help someone else out. If someone's playing video games and you watching them and it's helping you, it's helping you. I don't know how it's helping you, but it's helping you. You don't need to explain to me or nobody else. But that's what we're talking about, providing value for people. Sometimes you need to be entertained. Sometimes your mind needs to get off of something. And everything wasn't meant for everyone um, at all times. But there comes a time when there's something, sometimes you need that, right? So different times, different places, time for everything. And right now you might be in a season where you don't have time for no nonsense. And you might have time for nonsense. You know what I mean? So life is like that. And I'm telling you, we out here, wealth is your birthright. How is no one out here telling you that wealth is your birthright, right? Because people become selfish and greedy and they just want the wealth for themselves, right? I have no choice but to tell you this, because my conundrum is that I want to be selfless. I want to help as many people as possible. And I have to work and provide value as well, right? And so naturally, this is who I am. You might not want to do that, of course. So my time and my job to tell you that you need to focus on your purpose. Just do a lot of studying. Takes a person 4 years sitting around thinking and trying to figure stuff out, making mistakes on that one little path of finding out what's my purpose. My purpose is what I do on purpose. But can you do something on purpose? If you gotta learn how life works. Life works a particular way. And it's super hard to explain to you because we don't want to seem like we're manufacturing anything. That's why Jesus Christ is like, life is like. Life is like. The kingdom of heaven is like a metaphor. And that's the only thing we can give you is metaphors because we don't want to just start claiming manufacturing lies and stuff. Creativity, manufacturing, don't let me make you out to be the bad guy if you're a manufacturer of words. Everything can help somebody, you know? And there's a time and a place for everything. So I just encourage y'all to stay on your path. Understand that your path is to get money and the wealth. That means you gotta learn how it works. And marketing, go online, look up marketing. You'll see 20,000 people make different videos and explain marketing in different ways. But until you come up with your own definition of marketing, you really won't learn to crack the code. I tell you, that ain't easy. That ain't easy. When they say market research, that means rolling up on people and being like, yo, what do you like? Like, are you very wealthy and successful? If not, what's keeping you from getting wealthy and successful, right? And then people start to answer the questions and you learn and you say, okay, what can I manufacture for you and how can I help you to get over your fears? And then that's when I have to come up with like money school or abundance school or the Royal Crown Society. So a movement y'all can get down with, something y'all can feel, you know what I mean? But either way, I digress. It's not my job to save any one of y'all or to save anybody. It's just my job to be cool and to learn to be calm and to learn to regulate my nervous system. I know you'll hear a lot about that today. The reason why you hear a lot about stuff is if I'm out here thinking to myself, how can I beat this? How can I beat that? What if I regulated my nervous system? If I had that thought, then 100,000 people had that thought because that's the frequency that was shot into the air. And right now, can we successfully say to ourselves that this idea of generating wealth and wealth is our birthright and it was meant to be there is difficult for a rich person to get into heaven? Why? Because if you love money, then you are chasing it already. This is why we say don't chase, attract. Live out in your purpose. If you was to make funny videos like Drewski, right? Satire, trolling people, that was his purpose. 50 Cent job was to troll people for a while. Now he's creating other manifestations and stories. That's why he got his movie company, because it's just about stories, manufacturing, creating, get your team of writers. You know, I know a whole bunch of artists who be like, nah, I never let nobody write for me, man. I come up with my own stuff. All right, nobody's knocking you, but sometimes writers have a team. I didn't get this far to make this video without having a couple of coaches, without purchasing a couple of programs. I can go watch something that none of y'all can watch because none of y'all have purchased the course. If you don't purchase the course, you can't learn what I'm about to go learn. You can't go into the rooms that I'm about to see certain things. Sometimes people don't even ask for a lot. Sometimes it could be a $20 course. This is one course that I'm looking at right now. It's $7. And I never bought it, but I know it's something that I should have just purchased to look at it. But it was like, I'm not gonna waste $7. Hello, I just spent $22 on some food and it was so-so. It wasn't even that great. And I want to spend another $22 to do a remake of that meal and get me another meal. But guess what? I don't want to get a $7 course. You got to make it make sense sometimes and understand if what's running your life. Is it your stomach? Is it the opinions of other people? Am I waiting for some validation, someone to come help me and save me? Then call somebody up. Ask them, yo, I'm about to get this course here. What do you think about that? Have you ever heard of this technique? Well, let me tell you about it. What do you think about that? How can you relate to that? And then if that gives you courage, then it gives you courage. But sooner or later, you got to start operating, just operate with a mission, right? You can make any random move, but does your move have an end? Does it have a point? Is there a plan? Success means, and we're going to leave on this final note, and I got to learn how to do YouTube videos, like a good intro, good outro, good middle parts, speaking points. Right now, I'm just talking straight downloads to you guys, so you probably don't like that format. I hear y'all need it structured, because everything got to be explained for a human being, not because you're slow, but because it's in my head and it has to come out to you guys. So success is taking the next action, taking the next step. If I said, walk to that tree, and you never get to the tree, then you never was successful. But every step you take closer to the tree, now you're moving with purpose to a success. But if you out here trying to start a business, I'm like, what are you selling? Who's it for? Who's it helping? Give it to me in one sentence. That's having a purpose in a moment to yourself. If you say, well, what is my purpose? Stuff that you want to do on purpose is kind of your purpose. And the only thing that's stopping you from doing it on purpose is you can't be in fear of it. You can't fear no one else's opinion about what you want to do on purpose. And you got to be able to do it. If you get online and you're about to say something and you get on camera and you feel nervous, that's the haters that live in your heart and live in your mind. And those are the people who you really need to try to overcome.